Welcome to Thoughts and Paws, where we explore life's challenges through a dog's perspective. And today we're talking about Mondays. Just saying the word can send a collective groan through any room. But what if I told you that embracing a dog's perspective could actually transform your Mondays into something to wag your tail about?
Here on Thoughts and Paws, we love finding wisdom in our four-legged friends. Now that's an intriguing idea. How exactly does thinking like a dog relate to tackling the start of the work week?
Well, that's exactly what we explore on this show. It's all about adopting their enthusiasm, curiosity, and unwavering positivity. Dogs don't dread Mondays or pine for Fridays. Every day is an opportunity for adventure in their eyes. By channeling this canine mindset, we can actually rewire our brains to approach Mondays with more energy and ease.
Hmm, that's an interesting perspective. But how do we practically apply this dog-like attitude to our work lives?
Great question. Let's start with something dogs are masters at: routine. Dogs thrive on predictable schedules, and believe it or not, so can we. Setting up a consistent Monday morning routine can make the transition from weekend to work week much easier.
So you're saying we should, what, eat kibble and chase our tails?
Not quite, though I'm sure that would make for an interesting office dynamic. What I mean is creating a series of comforting, energizing habits. For instance, try waking up at the same time every Monday to reset your body clock. Enjoy a nutritious breakfast. Think of it as your version of a dog's favorite meal. Then take a morning walk to clear your mind and energize your body, just like a dog's excited morning stroll.
That actually sounds pretty nice. I usually hit the snooze button a few times and rush out the door with barely enough time to grab a coffee. But how do we maintain that excitement throughout the day?
Well, this is where we can learn from a dog's natural curiosity. Dogs greet every day as if it's packed with adventure, from exploring new scents to chasing elusive squirrels. We can emulate that zest for discovery in our work life by tackling tasks with fresh eyes and enthusiasm.
So you're saying we should sniff around the office and chase our coworkers?
Not exactly, though that might make for an interesting team building exercise. What I mean is, seek out opportunities to learn. Maybe read an article, listen to a podcast, or ask a colleague about their expertise. Approach challenges as puzzles waiting to be solved, not roadblocks. It's about keeping our minds active and engaged, just like a dog investigating a new toy.
I can see how that could make Mondays more interesting. But what about when we're feeling overwhelmed or stressed?
That's where we can learn from a dog's ability to live in the moment. Have you ever noticed how dogs seem to be completely present? Whether they're playing with their favorite toy or enjoying a belly rub, we can apply this to our work life through mindfulness.
Mindfulness is a buzzword these days, but how does it relate to thinking like a dog?
It's about being fully present, just like a dog is when they're focused on a task. In practice, this means concentrating on one thing at a time, eliminating distractions, and taking short, mindful breaks. Imagine you're a dog with a bone. You're not thinking about yesterday's walk or tomorrow's vet appointment. You're fully engaged with what's right in front of you.
That sounds challenging in our multitasking, always connected world. How do we actually put that into practice?
Start small. Try focusing on one task at a time, even if it's just for 15 minutes. Put your phone on silent and close those extra browser tabs. Take short, mindful breaks, step outside, or just stretch for 5 minutes to reset. Like a dog taking a quick break from play to rest in the sun. By grounding yourself in the present, you'll likely find that your productivity skyrockets and your stress levels plummet.
I could definitely use less stress on Mondays. What about physical activity? My dog certainly doesn't let a day go by without demanding a walk or a game of fetch.
Exactly. Dogs instinctively know the importance of regular movement. We can take a cue from them by prioritizing physical activity in our workday. Use your lunch break for a short walk, stand up every hour to shake off the sitting blues, or even try a quick yoga session between meetings. Think of it as your own version of a dog's play session.
I always feel better after moving around a bit, even if it's just a quick stretch. But how do we maintain that positive energy throughout the day?
This is where we can learn from one of the most admirable traits of dogs: their unwavering optimism. Dogs don't dwell on spilled kibble, so to speak. They greet each day with pure joy, and we can cultivate a similar attitude.
And that sounds great in theory, but how do we actually do that? It's hard to be optimistic when you're facing a mountain of emails and deadlines.
It starts with small steps. Try beginning your day with a pep talk or some positive affirmations. Focus on what you can accomplish rather than what went wrong last week. Celebrate small wins, whether it's finishing a tough email or mastering a new skill. Think of it as giving yourself a mental tail wag before diving into your tasks.
I like that image. But is being optimistic really that important for productivity?
Absolutely. Optimism isn't just a mood booster, it's a productivity hack. When you start your week with confidence and gratitude, you set the stage for success. Studies have shown that positive emotions can broaden our thought action repertoires and build our personal resources. It's like how a dog's wagging tail can lift the mood of everyone in the room.
That's fascinating. Is there anything else we can learn from our furry friends to make Mondays better?
One more crucial aspect: social connections. Dogs are natural pack animals, and their happiness often stems from strong social bonds. We can follow their lead by connecting with our pack at work. Greet your coworkers warmly, whether it's in person or through a quick message. Take a moment to check in with someone you haven't talked to in a while, or seek out collaboration opportunities, even for small projects.
So, you're saying we should treat our colleagues like our pack mates?
In a way, yes. Think about how excited dogs get when they see their human or canine friends. We can bring a bit of that enthusiasm to our work relationships. Building a sense of camaraderie doesn't just make your Mondays brighter, it creates a ripple effect of positivity that benefits the entire workplace. It's like how a dog's wagging tail can spread joy throughout a room.
This is all fascinating stuff. Who knew we could learn so much about tackling Mondays from our canine companions? Can you sum up the key points for us?
Certainly. To think like a dog on Mondays, remember these key points. First, embrace routine. Create a consistent Monday morning ritual that sets a positive tone for the week. Second, stay curious. Approach your tasks and challenges with the same enthusiasm a dog has for exploring new territories. Third, practice mindfulness. Focus on one task at a time, just like a dog with a favorite toy. Fourth, prioritize movement. Infuse your day with physical activity, even if it's just short bursts. Fifth, cultivate optimism. Greet each Monday with the same joy a dog shows when you come home. And finally, nurture social connections.
That's quite a list. But it all makes sense when you put it in the context of a dog's behavior. Do you have any final thoughts on how we can start implementing these ideas?
The key is to start small and be consistent. You don't have to overhaul your entire Monday routine at once. Maybe start by setting your alarm 15 minutes earlier to enjoy a leisurely breakfast, or commit to taking a short walk during your lunch break. The goal is to gradually shift your mindset to view Mondays as an opportunity for new adventures and growth, just like our canine friends do.
Well, I think we've given our listeners plenty to chew on, pun absolutely intended. Any last words of wisdom for our audience?
Yes, I'd like to leave our listeners with this thought. Every day is a gift. That's why they call it the present. Dogs inherently understand this, and that's why they approach each day with such joy and enthusiasm. So, as you face your next Monday, or any day for that matter, try to embrace that dog-like mindset. Be present, be curious, be playful, and most importantly, be kind to yourself and others. You might just find that your Mondays become a lot more enjoyable, and your entire week gets a boost of positive energy.
That's a wonderful way to look at it. I think we've all learned a lot about how to approach Mondays and life in general with a more positive attitude. Thanks for this unique perspective on tackling the start of the work week.
It's been a pleasure exploring this topic. And remember, listeners, life is too short to dread Mondays. So go fetch those opportunities, wag your metaphorical tails, and make the most of every day, especially Mondays.
And on that note, it's time for us to wrap up this episode of Thoughts and Paws. Until next time, keep your tails wagging and your spirits high.
Thanks, folks. See you next time.